Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Booked with Juby. Again, we have Frankie here as our little co-host, and today I'm going to be doing a audiobook review of the book All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. This book was so haunting, and it was a mystery, and it consumed me. I loved every minute of it. Not really, loved, that's not a good word. It tore at my heartstrings in so many ways. It's such a complex story, and I'm really excited to share it with you. This book is one of those books that you think you know, but you really don't know. And it also is like a timeline story, so it follows these characters throughout their entire lives, which I always love a book like that because you really get to see character growth and development, and you get to kind of see the whole picture of their lives instead of just like one little portion. So with that being said, let's get to it. So as always, I'm going to do a spoiler-free review for you guys. I'm going to give you a little synopsis, I'm going to give you my thoughts on it, and we can have a conversation about it if you like. If you've listened to it or read it, in the comments below, let me know. So let's get started. What is this book about? Wow, that is like such a complex question because this is a complex book. So basically, the book starts out in 1975 in this small Missouri town called Montclair. And you meet a boy named Patch, and his name is Patch because he has one eye and he wears a patch, and he is just the sweetest kid. He's comes from a bit of a hard background. His father died when he was quite young, and he lives with a single mother who's just trying to keep it all together. Now he one day meets this girl named Saint, and they become best friends. Saint is this cute little girl, glasses, and doesn't have a ton of friends, so the two of them kind of hit it off and become besties. And this is where the story takes a turn. You're like, oh wow, this is so cute, like we got little friendship happening, this is gonna be so good. Well, one day Patch is on his way home, and he makes a decision that basically changes his life. He stops another girl in town from getting abducted. He hears her screaming, and he goes to the rescue because he always thought he was a pirate, and so he made the right decision, but he ends up getting kidnapped in the process. Now, once this one moment basically affects his whole life and all the other characters, and obviously so, this is such a traumatic, crazy thing that happened. And basically the story is about survival and friendship and love, and how these characters carried the past with them into their futures, and what their lives became because of this one decision this kid made to save another girl. And oh my gosh, essentially what happens is Saint now has to go after she needs to find Patch, and then the story goes from there. I'm not going to go too much further on about it other than that. I'm just going to leave you there because that's like the main point of the story, is that just keep in mind these two have been friends for a very long time, and everything that happens because of this kidnapping and because of the love of friendship and the love of sticking together and family. Okay, so for this book, I need to just take a second to really talk about the two main characters. Now, there's a lot of awesome characters in this book. There's a lot of different people, different voices, different things, because it's obviously a lifetime story, so there's going to be lots of different characters that come in later on. But the main two are Patch and Saint. And we're going to talk about Patch really quickly. We're going to talk about the sweet, innocent boy who, had a bit of a rough life, and, he's such a unique person. He's very vulnerable, and he, you know, he has these scars that he's held with him his entire life, and they run so deep, and he's such an emotionally depth character because of this, that you can't help like rooting for him and wanting and hoping for the best for him and wanting everything to work out, because you're just like, oh, you sweet little angel. And then you have Saint, and her name is correctly so. She is a saint. I adored her as a character. She's so fierce. She's protective. She's relentless with her love for anyone that she loves them deep. She loves them hard. She loves them truly. And I just loved that so much. What I did like about the story, it wasn't overly romanticized, because sometimes you can just make an obvious romance in a book, and I kind of like that this one. Now, mind you, this is really more of a mystery thriller, and it's a slow burn. I'm going to tell you, it's a slow burn because Chris Whitaker does a good job really growing these characters for you. And you go along with the story because, again, it's a lifelong story. So you need to be prepared for that going in. It's not just going to go bam, 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 bam. Now, there's a lot that happens, and it's so good because of that, but you need to go into it mindful of that it's not this like fast-paced book, because it's not fast-paced. And a lot happens, so you do need to pay attention. I listened to it on audio, but this is one of those books that I definitely could have read as well. It probably would have been a slow read for me, though, because I think just with how much time goes through and how many things happen and why they happen and different point of views and different perspectives, you need time to like really absorb this book. This isn't a book that's like a quick, fun little romance you're reading just like on the side. No, we are reading and we're taking this seriously, if that makes sense. So obviously this book covers a lot and it goes through a lot because it is like, it's a mystery, it's a thriller, it's a drama, it's all sorts of things all mixed into one. And it is a slow burn, but it's a good slow burn. But with that being said, there's a lot of themes throughout this book that you need to, that's why it's like one of those books that you need to really pay attention to. Like you can't just like kind of half it. You got to really be into it because, you know, the heart of this book is, what does it mean to be good? What does it mean? What does it take? How do your actions show it? Is it by what you say? Is it by what you do? Can you ever be good? And I just feel like he did such a good job of bringing these characters to life. I think the narrator also did a very good job of bringing the characters to life and making them have such different but unique personalities, but that also blended really well together, and really bringing the past and the present all together and making it all make sense. And I loved this book. And it is about, there's like different themes in this book. You know, we have obsession, we have friendship, we have love, we have what it takes to be a good person, we have morality, we have relationships and marital relationships, and also like what it there's some trigger warnings here, but we deal with some pretty deep stuff like rape and kidnapping and you know, some death and grief and all of these things blended into one. And it makes it such a complex emotional book that I still thinking about it a lot. I really resonated with these characters, and I was explaining it to my dad after, and he was just like, wow, this story is a lot. And I'm like, it really is. It's so complex and there's so many layers to it, and everything about it was just well done. So who is this book for? I would say if you are somebody that doesn't mind genres being blended together like me, definitely this is going to be your vibe. If you're into a little bit more of a slow burn with more storytelling, also going to be your vibe. If you're down to get emotionally wrecked like I was, then also totally this book is for you. And I was emotionally wrecked. I was quite upset at so many different points in this book. But that means it's a good book to me. You know, like if you make me cry, good for you. I love it. And if you like audiobooks, I would recommend this one on audio. However, I do feel like I would have liked reading it. So if you've read this one, let me know in the comments what you thought, or if you listened to it, let me know what you thought, because I did listen to it and I would recommend the audio 100%. But I do feel like this one would have been enjoyable, like reading physically. So I don't know. What do you think? Overall, this book was so much more than a mystery for me. It was basically an experience. It was so emotional. It was chilling, tender, sweet, and devastating, like all wrapped into one. And it doesn't offer like easy resolution either. So you're not just getting, you don't necessarily get this happy ending. And that does ruin the book for you, okay? Because this is a heavy book, but it delivers something so much more at the end that you're just going to be like, whew, big breath out, you know? And it's one of my most memorable books of the year, this year for sure, 2025. And I really have nothing but good things to say about this book. I don't actually know much about the author, but I definitely would be interested in reading some more from him and just seeing what other kind of devastating experiences he can give me. I don't know. Is that crazy? Okay, friends, that is everything I have to say on All the Colors of the Dark. I could keep yapping at you for so much longer about this, but I also don't want to spoil it for you. So if you have read it, let me know in the comments. Did you feel the same way I did, or do you have a different opinion? Who was your favorite character? Did you like all the characters? I don't know. Let me know. And if not, if this is on your TBR, let me know as well. And let me know if it's on your radar now. And as always, you can find me here on YouTube, Booked with Juby. I post once a week. And if you want to get all my videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications so that you get all my notifications when I post. And I'm also on Instagram and TikTok, Booked with Juby. I love you all so, so much. And I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful reading ahead of you. Bye.